Class of '09, the game that shook the world with its absurd, vulgar, and bizarre nature, spinning the visual novel trope right on its head. And then it came out with the ass known as the flip side. Anyway, today I'm going to do a morality ranking on all of the relevant Class of '09 characters, including the Mall Cop, Braxton, and Trody. I will not be taking the aforementioned ass in consideration for the rankings because this is my video and I also do not like that game. Feel free to disagree with me. I'm doing this because I wanted to analyze the characters for fun, and please don't take this seriously. It's just a game. The tiers consist of literally the bare minimum. Yikes! Therapy, would choose bear over you, and special place in hell. I think it's obvious that most of the characters are going to be in a certain tier. To start things off, I'm going to be ranking Jeffrey here. I'd say debatably one of the most morally questionable characters in the game. He does a lot of morally bad things, like take a picture of Nicole in her undergarments while in the girls' locker room, and the elephants in the room. However, even though none of his actions are justifiable, I believe he's like a product of his environment, you know? He is always like the butt of the joke and is constantly harassed, bullied, and ostracized.
Yeah. Don't pull my hair! Oh, I broke his glasses. I got a split!
Maybe I should grow 40 feet. Then you'd really like me.
Hey! How'd you...
Maybe if you took your shoes off and stepped on his face!
And everyone else at this school. I'm sick of being the butt of everyone's jokes.
Dude, whatever.
The blatant disrespect, snickering behind my back, fake love notes, beating me up.
Okay, really didn't need your life story here.
Stealing my stuff, egging my house, blackmailing me, calling my mom at work and telling her I'm dead.
They go that hard here?
His actions are the result of an accumulation of mistreatment followed by inaction by the faculty.
Sorry, I'm a little out of the loop. What do you mean by alternative?
Oh god.
Jeffrey here prefers to be stepped on by women who look like cats, as opposed to standard intercourse with a human woman.
Principal Lin does not care, and all the adults in general suck. So, to be honest, I believe that bro needs a good therapist, okay? And preferably not a racist one. So honestly, even though he's done a lot of bad things, I feel like, yeah, a good therapy sesh would put him in a better place, you know, as far as morality goes. Next person, my next individual is Hunter. Hunter, my man. Even though the bar is lower than the basement Nicole's brother lives in, I would say he is actually one of the more bearable males of the cast. With that in mind, I shall list off his crimes. Low-key cheating on Megan and joining the White Pride party. Okay, for the first one, of course it's his fault. He chose to cheat on her. But I want to also say that I think that not only did Nicole premeditate their interactions, but she is shown actively manipulating his feelings of loneliness and lust to make him cheat on Megan without realizing it. And I wouldn't say completely not realizing it, because in what I like to call the crazy cat lady ending, he doesn't really express any guilt towards Megan, but you know, that's up to interpretation. So yeah, that's definitely not a good look for him. This was an issue I considered not debating because of its real-world ties, but when it comes to discussing the morality of the characters and the issue itself, leaving it out would be ignorant. So I will only cover what is needed and also provide my own commentary. First, be aware that literally all of the school joined the White Pride party, including Nicole, if you somehow picked that route. Now, I'm sure that some of those who joined are actually just racist and wanted an excuse to be open about it, but I also feel that some may have joined for a sense of belonging or conformity like Jeffrey, as they are impressionable and naive teenagers. I don't know if Hunter is actually racist, but seeing as the entire cast likely joined the White Pride, that is the standard of morality. Like I said, the bar is actually so far in hell that I have to bend over backwards so not every character belongs in special place in hell. So if you compare the characters in this game to a random person on Earth, chances are every character would belong in special place in hell for even associating with this ideology. But alas, the only source I can use is Class of '09, therefore Hunter is going to be in the yikes tier. Next, we have Mr. Katz. So one of the biggest reasons as to why I didn't want to include Flipside is because bro becomes another textbook like PDF file, and I would be a broken record saying, one order for special place in hell, please. Like, right. So disregarding the flip side has made it so that the only issue for me to analyze is his like drug addiction. And I think buying drugs off of a student is pretty damn illegal, but as far as morality goes, I think bro just needs a good therapist in rehab. So he's going to be joining Jeffrey here. Now, here comes the man making me question the entire tier list. This man right here, Mr. White. So I don't know how washed old white man got the entire school, who, as Nicole claims,
I don't know anyone at our school who wouldn't vote for Obama.
to become essentially racist, but he did, and now I feel like I'm treading a very dangerous line. Without a doubt, bro belongs in special place in hell. Now, the only unnamed character in this ranking, the mall cop. Okay, and I am aware of Hatman and EMT and all these losers, but I'm not going to be including them in this ranking because I don't have anything to say. Actually, I do have things to say, but I'm just focusing on the more relevant characters, like I said. He was a little too iconic not to include this in this ranking, but like not in a good way. He shot a teenage girl for stealing, which is not the rights protocol, wants to kill his wife, and threatened to kill Jekka and Nicole. So, therefore, I would choose a bear over you, okay? He is unstable, violent, but not a PDF file. The bare minimum, I'm telling you. You are below the bare minimum. It's like, to be far worse would mean to be the counselor. Nicole's mom is next. So, I'm kind of excited for this one because I can find her. Because I feel like she's actually one of the more characters that's more difficult to talk about since it's like she's more morally gray. When I first reacted to this game, I actually thought she was one of the more reasonable adults, and though she kind of is because everyone sucks, rewatching it has made me realize how much she doesn't actually care for Nicole. Like, yes, she got a lawyer for Nicole in both the—
I wanted to show you what you do to me. Show me what? I don't see.
Oh my god, all 3 inches of it?
You know what? I'm just seeing red right now. I will spare no expense to make sure this pervert's under the jail.
But she could, like, give less than 2 shits when Nicole was being harassed by rumors.
I don't care if it was 20 guys. They're considering expulsion for all the times you skipped. I told you not to screw up here.
Or when Nicole would pull the SA card. Being a mom isn't an easy role, but to dismiss your daughter that easily shows the kind of environment Nicole was raised in. She's also quoted to hit Nicole to relieve her feelings of disappointment.
Mom refused to move again, forced me to get a shitty job, and hits me to relieve her feelings of disappointment. Mom found another husband and said I could rot under a bridge for all she cared.
So even though it appears as though she genuinely cares for Nicole, I feel as though she's like more so fulfilling her role, and she would cut ties with her as soon as it benefited her. So for that selfishness, I would put her in would choose bear over you. But therapy was a close second. Next is fan favorite, but it's like guilty fan favorite. It's Skylar. I literally hate that they made him so funny in the games because he's literally so awful. This man's an awful person. So I'm going to put all the clips that incriminate him. Although he's stupidly hilarious, there's no other place for this lacrosse player to end up in except for special place in hell. Now, one of my actual favorite characters, I think, this is I think when they're talking about their favorite character, it's Kelly. So she definitely has some problems, but I'd say she's staying afloat pretty well. You know, she's like on the, set point of morality. We know she got admitted to the sex addict program for liking her husband. As far as like morality goes, she's actually pretty good.
She's really good.
I think she also has a drug problem, but pretty much everyone here has one. So I think for how it is right now, she's going to end up in yikes. Next is Braxton, my man. Where are you? This man right here. This guy does like nothing in the game. I said the relevant characters, but he literally does nothing. I just want to include him because I just remember him. Yeah, the ending that he's associated with is just too strong for me to not remember this guy. Yeah, no, and that scene that I'm talking about is him dropping a brick in front of Nicole. So I think not only can we assume he's like drug dealing and potentially like has an addiction to it, but we know he's affiliated with a gang. Yikes. And funnily enough, that's the category he will be placed in because I just don't know enough about him, unfortunately. So, Coach Colby. This man is outrightly disgusting and just yucky, mucky, and unlucky. He's just a straight up PDF file, wants to burn Ari's house down, so he's homophobic, wants to kill his wife. He almost gained 1 point back for trying to implement the No Child Left Behind Act, which is, caring about your students, the bare minimum. But then he turned it into terrorism, so that's plus 0 points, so he's currently at negative 999,999 points. Special place in hell. Miss Ames. Where the hell are you, girl? Oh, right here. Okay. So it's kind of unfortunate we didn't get to cover Flipside since she had a bigger role there, but I don't think there's any coming back for being racist. She wrote a college thesis on interracial relationships and her racist views, leading her to losing her teaching license. So though Girly Pop is a therapist, I think she needs therapy. Understand that being racist probably means that you have like a bad morality. Like I haven't seen enough of it to know how far the scope goes, but for what it's worth, like I don't think she's ever been outrightly racist. Like she definitely thinks it. We know that for sure. But as a teacher, she could have been implementing those views right from the get-go, but she was like trying to cover it up, So she has some decency, not a lot, but being racist is bad. Next on the list is Crispin. Crispin, this guy, oh my gosh. I remember seeing a YouTube video of someone doing a moral alignment chart for the class of 09 characters, and for me, personally, I would have placed him in lawful neutral or chaotic good. This man is the definition of a lonely pick-me and a desperate attempt at edgy and broken. The only things he did that made me raise an eyebrow were, first off, sending very polite images to Nicole, and literally waiting in the girl's bathroom like a psycho. So that's yikes. Now, next person is Trody. My throat. So, fun fact, I thought Braxton and Trody were the same person, kind of. So Trody isn't really relevant in the class of 09 games. So the only notable things that I recall him doing was bullying Jeffrey very hardcore during the school tour.
Ah, nice rolly backpack, you fucking four-eyed double dick sucking bitch.
Bullying isn't cool. Therefore, he is a yikes. Mr. Laurie. Oh, this man right here. Oh, jeez. Okay. The only thing I can recall about him is him paying for sexual services in that one ending, which is first illegal, and second, seeing as Nicole, a minor, can get easy access to MySpace. I wouldn't doubt that he's met up with like minors before and has only now been caught because of Nicole. And since this is a cloudy area, I'm just going to put him in special place in hell, since there's plenty of room. Now, my girly pop is next, Jekka. She's like Nicole if Nicole wasn't a sociopath. She has a moral compass that is like mostly explored in Class of 09, the re-up. So first off, she confronts Nicole on being abusive to Ari, which is gang. Thank you, ally. She confronts Nicole about like selling drugs to pregnant women, about lying to Karen. However, she also, does drugs, steals with no remorse, helps Nicole give Karen an eating disorder, and leads to white pride party. Which sounds pretty bad, but seeing that when Nicole goes with her, she isn't converted, so we can assume that Mr. White manipulated her in some way. She also helps Nicole destroy the photo lab's dark room and bullies Jeffrey. So she is no saint, but I would not choose a bear over her. She actually has some moral compass. I just think she needs a long therapy sesh with a non-racist. The next individual I will be analyzing is Miss Lynn. So she's one of the adults my eardrums can handle without bursting, but she's also the reason the school is so corrupt. So many PDF files and power-hungry higher-ups rule the school because she slept with all of them is now subject to blackmailing from them or feels loyal to them.
When you fooled around with half your staff, they don't take you very seriously. Sometimes all it takes is one night with someone to feel the need to be loyal.
And it's funny that she lets all of this slide, but she puts a target on Nicole's back in that one ending. Not she shouldn't, but damn. She also has a cousin performing unlicensed plastic surgery on customers in her basement, so add that to the list of crimes. Anyways, end of the story here is Special Place in Hell for You. Next is Emily. So Emily is one of the more fucked up characters. She has a gang member boyfriend, is way messed up on drugs, does rebellious activity like slashing her mom's tires, dealing drugs, and strangling Kelly. I also know she is diagnosed with schizophrenia, but seeing as she abandons her prescriptions in the OD route, I would be beyond horrified if I was ever stuck in a room with her for more than 1 minute. So, right here. Now, onto a refreshing change of pace, we have Karen. So she's my unproblematic girly pop. I literally don't think she's done anything. I don't know what else I could ask for. Actually, I do. And it's someone as wholesome and normal as Karen. So thank you for your presence. Very blessed to be here. Oh. Yes. Go to the place you covet, my queen. Now, back to unwholesomeness. When we were talking about polar opposites, I'm not talking about vanilla or chocolate. I'm talking about Karen and the counselor. Right. The counselor is like Coach Colby, but even worse because he's a counselor and knows how to use teenage girls' feelings as leverage to harass and manipulate them. How can I state it better than that?
He's what I call a marathon pedophile.
Thank you for the assistance, Nicole. This guy is just a huge ass bag and huge asshole. So there you go. So many copy and paste PDF files, so while we are at it, let's put Nicole's brother in that same tier as well. Bro also targets minors, manipulates and guilts them, and is a huge pervert. Swell. Megan is next. And even though she is kind of a prick and most definitely annoying, she is the most moral character besides Karen. I know I focus on a lot of the characters' wrongdoings, so this video should low-key be about the crimes they've all committed, but they do so many bad things, I can't help it. But for Megan, she is an ally. Slay. And she rightfully bullies Crispin for sending his unsolicited pics to Nicole. The only problematic thing she's done was siding with Coach Colby when Nicole was offering, car washes.
Actually, as I recall, you were offering him a topless car wash, right, Mr. Colby?
Yeah, this is pretty bad, but Girly didn't even know the counselor was hitting on Nicole when the sale thing was happening. Come on. I feel like there's a chance she could have been clueless. Also, what Nicole was doing was illegal, so, I bestow to you second place. Kyle, the correct way to spell the name. He showed up once, and that was when he was trying to get laid by a Jekka, and so he kills the mom for her. Yikes. To be set off that easily over a teenage girl is levels of unfixable. Would choose a bear over you. Now, I'm going to reorganize this, so it's just the people I'm talking about. Oh, mall cop! Wait. I meant the mall cop. Hold on. Right there. Okay. I'm not including these people, so these are the last 3 people right here. So Mr. Brolade, he's mostly okay, and he's definitely stupid, and there's only 2 problematic instances with him, I'm pretty sure. First is when Nicole claims that he was feeling up one of her friends, and when Kelly yelled, "I knew it," when he said he was a pedophile. So in both these circumstances, they aren't really definitive, as we know Nicole is an unreliable, narrator, and we don't know the context behind the second encounter, It could have been someone told Kelly, seeing as she doesn't think that there are any PDF files in the school.
All of them? No way.
Kelly, you've never been hit on by a male teacher?
Not really.
But being accused of this is a little too much to be the bare minimum, and also the dead wife fixation is a little concerning. Oh. Next is Ari, my icon. It's kind of funny how polarizing she is. She'll be really cute and wholesome when talking to Nicole, and then threatening and being gay with Kelly in the sexual addiction program. I think she belongs in therapy. I think. because of the self-harm and also being into manipulative and abusive women, up until she goes and dates one, I guess. For the star of the show, I have Nicole. I don't think it's been outrightly stated if she's a sociopath, but I do think she matches the indicators. I believe she carries trauma from her dad killing himself and like blaming it on her in the environment she was raised in. Like moving a bunch of times, an alcoholic mom,
I told you about it 3 times! You would have remembered if you weren't always fucked up on Vicodin.
pedo brother, pedo schools. But there's no way to sugarcoat this. She's pretty bad. So instead of tell, I shall show you.
Yeah, make yourself useful and kick his ass for me.
I wouldn't be surprised if you like killing animals.
Haven't tried. Well, see, I'm a tiny 17-year-old minor, and his man hands were more than big enough to wrap around half my body. Wow, I am creative when it comes to destroying things.
I get that. But honestly, if it is, abusing feels fucking awesome. Don't knock it till you try it.
It's not my fault I'm beautiful, Mom.
I didn't know it was common for beautiful girls to ask for a gallon of their partner's blood.
You gonna stop by every vending machine on the way? What? You know, to keep those love handles plump.
Did you cry at all after your mom died?
No, but I used it to get out of some stuff. Does that count?
Okay, then explain the time you set a Palmia flag on fire in the cafeteria.
It was funny.
With this, I think it's safe to say, as much as she hates all the PDF files in the school, she also is being sent to hell via me. Pretty awful, and you should be glad I did not include the flip side, because she would be even lower, along with Mr. Katz. Where is he? Along with this guy right here. I may not be recalling all the instances in which they did bad things, so, you know, if you have any, point them out in the comments. Thank you for watching my video.